Every day we use social networks to inform ourselves, compare notes, and share what we experience. They are extraordinary tools, capable of creating networks of solidarity and bringing together people who would otherwise never meet. But the same tools can turn into places where hate, stereotypes, and misinformation spread. This is what, unfortunately, happens more and more often to those who serve in Trieste, in Piazza Libertà, which many know as the Square of the World. We volunteers, the scouts, and even the migrants who collaborate with us frequently become targets of hate campaigns, insults, and accusations that have nothing to do with civil discourse. It is important to clearly distinguish two concepts. Criticism is an essential part of a democratic society. Everyone has the right to have different ideas about hospitality, immigration policies, the role of volunteering, or the decisions of institutions. Debate, even heated, is legitimate when it is based on facts and respect for the dignity of individuals. Hate, on the other hand, is something different. Hate speech does not seek to discuss ideas but to attack people. It reduces them to labels, dehumanizes them, describes them as a problem to be eliminated or as enemies to be fought. According to the National Network for Countering Hate Speech and Phenomena, this language fuels discrimination, hostility, and, in the most severe cases, can contribute to creating a favorable ground for violence. When we read comments that define all migrants as criminals, all volunteers as accomplices, or all scouts as naive or manipulated, we are no longer faced with an opinion. We are confronted with a generalization that erases real people. And this is precisely the most dangerous mechanism of hate, replacing knowledge with prejudice and complexity with simplistic slogans. The reality I have known in Piazza Libertà is very different. I have seen volunteers who dedicate hours of their free time without receiving anything in return. I have seen scouts who choose to serve others discreetly, learning the value of responsibility and active citizenship. I have seen doctors, healthcare workers, cultural mediators, and ordinary citizens collaborate to provide concrete answers to people in extreme difficulty. But I have also seen something that rarely appears in the stories of those who fuel hatred. I have seen migrants helping us volunteers. I have seen them translate when someone could not communicate. I have seen them distribute blankets, organize spaces, accompany those who had just arrived, and offer comfort to those who were worse off than them. I have seen people who, despite having gone through wars, persecutions, torture, or dramatic journeys, still chose to serve others. This demonstrates a simple but often ignored truth. Solidarity is not a one-way relationship. It is a mutual exchange in which each person can be, at the same time, both the recipient and the protagonist of the help. For this reason, it is essential to counter hate speech, not to prevent dissent, but to defend human dignity. Words are never neutral. Words build the image we have of others. If for months or years a category of people is described as a danger, an invasion, or a burden, it becomes increasingly easy to accept discrimination, exclusion, and even violence. European history teaches us how devastating this process can be. Countering hate also means taking personal responsibility. It means verifying information before sharing it, not fueling defamatory campaigns, reporting content that incites violence, and supporting those who are targeted. It means above all telling what we see with our own eyes, without letting only algorithms and the most aggressive comments shape the narrative of reality. I will continue to tell the story of the Square of the World for what it truly is. A complex place, certainly, but also a space where people from different cultures, languages, and stories demonstrate every day that solidarity is possible. I will continue to tell the faces before the labels, the stories before the prejudices, and the facts before the propaganda. Because hatred always tries to convince us that some lives are worth less than others. Solidarity, on the other hand, reminds us that human dignity does not depend on nationality, skin color, religion, or social status. And this is precisely the most important lesson that the Square of the World teaches us every day.